in my 8 years, obviously I've signed up for other courses and signed up for other training modules and things like that, but nothing comes close to TCA, like nothing. Because the other ones that I've joined, it's like you join and nobody even talks. There's not weekly meetings. You have 2 weekly meetings, for support. Yeah, there's just nothing like it. The community is amazing, and it's such a community over competition vibe and atmosphere. I've made so many close friends, and I've had so many job opportunities just because of the networking that TCA has. Like it's insane.
Hello, hello, beautiful bosses. Welcome to our channel. I'm super excited to host an amazing artist today. Her name is Enjoli, and she is the artist behind Meaningful Letters, and I'm so excited to have her on here. Before we invite her back on, I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Rosie. I'm the artist behind Wandercrafter. I'm also the creator and the coach of the Craft Academy, where I help calligraphers just like Enjoli create, automate, and scale their calligraphy businesses based on their unique story and methodology. And ever since I started my business in 2017, I've made so many mistakes, wasted lots of time, lots of money. And, after honing in and niching down to engraving and live events, I have been able to work with my amazing dream brands like Dior, YSL, and Ferrari, which has been such a thrill. So now I'm on a mission to help other calligraphy entrepreneurs like Enjoli work with their own dream brands and build a really sustainable and successful business. And so if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because it'd be awesome to have you. That way you don't miss any of our fun and educational videos just like this one. So this is the incredible story of Enjoli, who is the artist behind Meaningful Letters based in Chicago. She used her methodology to transform her calligraphy business from lost and confused to now focused and strategic. She's not only a full-time entrepreneur, but she's also has a full-time job, 3 little kids, and just being able to take care of her family and balance all the things. She's been in the program for only 1 year, and she's been able to build the creative business that she has always dreamt of. So welcome, Enjoli.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Thank you so much for spending the time with us today and telling us about your story. It's been such an amazing journey having you in the Craft Academy. So before we begin and kind of talk about your journey and your business, can you tell us how you first got into entrepreneurship in the first place?
Yeah, sure. So all my life, I've always steered more towards like arts and crafts and DIY projects. And it was about 8 years ago, right after I had my second daughter, when I fell in love with all things calligraphy and lettering. On a personal note, just like, I experienced some pretty severe postpartum depression, and so calligraphy was a really good mental health resource for myself. So it really helped get me through that time, and it has just been a favorite of mine since.
Yeah, dude. I'm recently postpartum. I mean, I'm 6 months now, but it still feels like yesterday. And I have to tell you, postpartum is absolutely bonkers. Like, there is no words to describe how you're feeling and how long you feel it for. And it's just such a challenge. So I'm glad that you were able to find calligraphy and kind of use that to build back your mental health. So you started calligraphy while you were postpartum. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so let's see, because my second daughter, she was born the day after Christmas. So it was already, like a stressful time. And I had a 5-year-old at the time. And so just as you're beginning to come closer and closer to your due date, you become more and more uncomfortable, impatient. It's a very stressful time.
Totally.
And then, you have your baby, and you're trying to figure all these things out now, like a parent of 2. And so it's really critical during those moments, as you know, to really try your best to find time for yourself, because you can really just get lost in the baby bliss or the baby blues, whichever situation happens for you. But it was just so important to me that I found one thing that was just for me and nobody else, that gave me like an excuse and a really purposeful, like a meaningful time to set aside time to just I would actually go in the basement, and I had like a desk with like lights, and my husband just knew, like, you watch the kids, I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna practice lettering, or I would wait till like it went to bed, or whenever I had a burst of energy, I would just find the time to go down there, because it was just so calming and grounding, and you just focus on one stroke at a time, not just being exhausted from being a new time mom and just all the emotions that you're flooded with. Yeah, it was a rough time. We made it through, but it's just, I mean, whenever there's a pen, a pencil, a marker, something, or a surface that you can write on, it's just an easy outlet, you know?
Yeah, there's so many surfaces to write on, so
Yeah.
that's awesome there. It really is kind of an endless, like, creative outlet, so that's
Yeah.
amazing. So, what made you decide to take something that you really chose and created as time for yourself and decide to share that with the world?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I've always been pretty artsy, crafty my whole life, and people ask me for like variety of, DIY projects, and I just found myself a lot of people. I started to post things that I was doing with my lettering on social media, like on Instagram, and more people saw what I was doing, so I was starting to get more questions. And then, I started to get into the like, traditional wooden signs and making those for people, and I thought that was going to be my thing.
Mhm.
And I learned very quickly that it was not my thing. But I just realized at the time that I started to get more inquiries from people to make stuff for them with my lettering on it in a variety of projects, for weddings or posters or for the babies and all kinds of things. And I found that like the lettering was so meaningful to me that these projects and things that I were making were very meaningful to these people as well.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh, maybe this will be a nice little side hustle. And it's something I enjoy, so why not? So that's kind of how I got started. I just got getting asked more and more for different projects. And then I'm like, oh, pricing is involved. It just kind of like snowballed into like oh, I can actually make money off of what I really enjoy doing. So, and then Meaningful Letters was born.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So what did your business day to day look like back then?
Business day to day was honestly, I was so exhausted and so busy with baby and the other child at the time. And then, you only get a couple weeks off and you go back to, I had a corporate job at
Mhm.
that time as well. So it was very just any ounce of time I had to learn more about calligraphy and like trying to turn it into an actual business. It was just like bursts of moments of time where I was just like, okay,
Mhm.
I'll spend 10 minutes here researching like how to get a website or how do I get a business name or like, all the like baby steps in the very beginning to just setting up your business properly. So there was like no dedicated day or time or hours where I was like, okay, I'm focused on my business. These are the steps I need to take. It was very like learn as you go and
Mhm.
do whatever felt right in the moment for the business at that time. Like at that time, I think I was signing up for like random markets to do like ornament lettering or like, it was all just sporadic. So there was no organization or strategy to it.
And then what was your average calligraphy income at the time?
Oh, at the time, like probably less than $400 a month, if that, because it was like some months I just didn't have any work at all. So, but it was very minimal.
Yeah, yeah, definitely sounds like it, especially since you were spending so much time creating the wood signs, you were painting and lettering on it, and of course you were selling it too. So
Mhm.
yeah, it must have been a really difficult time for you. Did you feel like that experience aligned with your vision of what your business was supposed to be?
Not at all, because in the beginning, like I really didn't have a vision. I was still trying to figure out what was my path and what did I really enjoy. Because I started off with pointed pen, but then I quickly learned that I didn't have patience for pointed pen. So then I got into brush lettering, like brush calligraphy, and I'm like, oh, this is way better. There's many. I just found it more easier. And then like faux calligraphy, and then engraving came around, and I'm like, holy crap, like
Yeah.
this is actually what I really want to niche down into. Because I remember when I first started at some of our calligraphy calls that I was able to join at the time, I would say like, I want to do stickers, I want to do a workbook, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's like, reel yourself in. You can't do everything for everyone. So,
Mhm. Yes, exactly. Niching down. So
yeah.
before we talk more, because I do want to kind of pull in and dig in a little bit more about finding your niche and getting rid of some of the physical products that you did. How did you find out about like the Craft Academy and me as a coach and like decide to invest in yourself in the business?
Yeah, I found out about you through social media, through Instagram. I think just through our like similar network of calligraphers that we're friends with. And I saw your page, immediately saw your work, so I immediately started following you and then liking your stuff. And then I quickly found out that I was essentially like your target like audience as a calligraphy business coach that was like lost and confused and all the things. And so I was like just eating up all of your marketing because I'm like, I am her. You are describing me. Um, and then over the course of several months, or even like probably even up to a year before we like really started chatting, I would
Mhm.
watch your testimonials like this. And it was filled with other moms of multiple children that also had a full-time job that also love calligraphy, and they've been doing it for a couple years. And so I was like, I am these people. Like, I need to, and there was just so much proof in the pudding to what you've accomplished and what you've built with your brand and your business. And then the numerous amount of other calligraphers across the world, that you've helped, and just seeing these real life testimonials was really just like, okay, it really gave me like the confidence and like, I can do it too. I just need to like invest in myself to like trust the experienced professionals that are doing this out there. Like you've gone through all the trials and errors and have saved so much like heartache and time. We're just one person and there's so much for us to take care of.
Yeah.
And so you essentially gave it, not that there's no cheating, but essentially, you've been through it all. You gave us like the cheat codes and like just mapped it out so well with the videos and the resources. So it was just that time. At that time, I had already had my business for because I'm going on 8 years. This will be 8 years. So it was like 6 years at the time. And I'm like, okay, I just really need a really experienced calligrapher that is doing the things that I want to try and do one day, and just learn the ropes from.
Yeah. So I guess I'm really curious, if your business was only netting $400 a month at the time, and this is a pretty big investment, what was kind of going through your head to justify that cost and know that you were taking the right step for your business?
I think it was the testimonials and them just saying like how quickly, or just being transparent about the time frame it took them to make that money back. And I was just so confident with your expertise and the team that was sharing these testimonials, going to your website, seeing all these things. It was just, I had a lot of confidence that I would be able to recoup that money back quickly and easily within a year. Like that was kind of my goal, going into this. I'm like, okay, this is how much I'm investing in myself into this calligraphy coaching. But then all that came with it, it's just like, it's not like you just purchase something and you go away. You don't hear from anybody. There's just like an onboarding and like a community that you join. And you've just thought of everything. And so I just like jaw dropped. I'm just like, my God, Rosie thought of literally like everything. Like whatever question you have, it's in a module, or it's in the Facebook, like our Facebook group. It's like a Google for calligraphers. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And honestly, like the program wouldn't be anywhere where it is now without the people just like you who are like just as committed to the program as we are to you. So, kudos to you as well. And thank you for sharing your experiences. So you invested in the program, you put in a lot of money, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these resources. So like, tell me what the beginning of your journey in TCA was like. Did you have immediate success, or was it like things that you had to struggle through at first?
My only struggle in the beginning was just being overwhelmed because there's so much information at hand, and it's just like, of course, just start at module 1 and work your way through. And you kind of, everybody's at a different stage in their business, right? So, and everybody kind of knows the areas that they need to improve on. So that's what I loved about the course, is that you don't have to like start at the very beginning and wait to get like approved to go to the next stage. You kind of jump into those different topics where you just know that you need some more support. But I think that was the only thing that was just like, it was like so overwhelming. It's like, okay, but you guys have like the whole onboarding process to walk us through everything that comes with the course. And then also like the accountability tracker is great to help us keep us accountable for going through the modules. But honestly, the first couple modules, especially, the 90-day letter, like setting your intentions, like who are you, and like, what is your goal?
Yeah.
You have all these amazing ideas, but reel it in, like 90 days, that I think was the biggest kind of like kickoff to my journey with the TCA, is because that really helped me lead into like the niching down of what project or what service or offering did I really want to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And about my target audience. So, but no, yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel like was the biggest change that you made with your business since you started the program and like really set you to the next level?
So some of the biggest changes that I've made have been creating a brand deck, having my own website. I recently finally launched that after 8 years, opening a business banking account, purchasing business insurance, And then the latest one has been investing in a CRM like Honeybook to just further professionalize and streamline my services and clients and just my overall like business organization. So those are definitely my top things that are the biggest changes.
Yeah, I mean, there's that's kind of a lot. I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
like one thing that like really, but it's just like the whole
Yeah.
program as a
Hmm.
whole that like really makes you feel like you're a real solid business.
Hmm.
One where you can actually reach out to customers or potential
Yeah.
clients and pitch to them and know that whatever they find online about you, whether it's social media, LinkedIn, your website, like it's all there, and you are a real life person, a real life business person, real artist, and you have the means to justify what your price is and why.
Yeah, totally.
Love it. So what does meaningful letters look like today?
So Meaningful Letters looks like a niche down business into offering hand engraving and calligraphy, with the more of a focus in hand engraving because it is more popular for live events and activations. So we're a variety of either agencies or brands or businesses. Will create partnerships where I come to their store or their business or event space, and I'm there live hand engraving personalizations of names or initials or special illustrations. And then for calligraphy, it could be anything like place cards or things like on envelopes or paper. I
Mhm.
do offer workshops and murals, but those are not as often. But right now, my main focus is hand lettering, engraving, and calligraphy.
Yeah. So I know this is kind of what sparked our client interview today, but I wanted to kind of pull our Facebook post that you put earlier. I wanted to kind of share like what does your schedule look like right now with like the holidays approaching? I know you're really booked and busy, which is awesome. So give us a little bit of insight to like what your day-to-day kind of looks like and how you're balancing all of the things.
Yeah, so my day to day, so I do have a full-time job. I do work 8 to 4 basically every single day. So in the mornings, I get up very early, get all my kids out the door on the bus. Then I start my 9 to 5. Then on at my break at around noon, I'll eat something, spend about like 30 minutes. And then the other 30 minutes, I'll go catch up on emails from Meaningful Letters or projects, invoicing, contracting. Emails, things like that. And then from 1 to 4, I'll go back to my 9 to 5. In the interim, I have two of my children arriving from school from the bus. Then 4 o'clock rolls around, I clock out. Start to get dinner ready. Basically, from 4 to like 8 o'clock is like family time.
Hmm.
Get in bed by about 9 p.m. Everybody's asleep. And then from about 9 to 11, I do more meaningful letter things. And then if I'm lucky, I'm in bed by like midnight, and then it just kind of starts all over again. But luckily, I try to just, all my events are typically on Fridays and Saturdays.
Mhm.
Sunday is like my true day off. Laundry, you know, all
Yeah.
the household maintenance type things. But that's essentially kind of like my day to day.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
just finding
amazing.
pockets of time during lunch
Yeah.
and then like after everyone's gone to bed to work on meaningful letters.
Yeah. And then you also mentioned that you were booked with like bigger clients like Sephora and some other
Yes.
brands. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So in the past month or so, or the past 2 months, I had booked with Glacier, I'm sorry, in Chicago. They had their 10-year anniversary celebration. So I was there hand engraving candles for them. They had a limited edition birthday candle. So that was super fun. And then just a couple weeks ago, I did a live engraving and calligraphy event with Pinterest at their offices in Chicago.
Mhm.
So I did that event. And then this week, actually on Friday, will be my live engraving event with Sephora. So I'll be doing live engraving for them. Yes. And then this Saturday, so that's on Friday. And then Saturday, I'll be doing calligraphy on envelopes for Tom Ford on
Oh my
Saturday. And then a variety of Binny's locations I book throughout the holidays. I'll be doing hand engraving on their liquor bottles. So,
oh my gosh. I love this. I love this
yeah.
so much. You're just like, going on for sure. Just dropping all these amazing brand names like it's no big deal, which is totally different from where you were before. And I feel
Yeah.
like this is just like a full circle moment of like you watching other testimonial videos, just like the one we're creating now, and now you're making your own. But also, the fact that you've been on Pinterest, and that's kind of where like the creativity starts, and you're always pinning and searching for the next project. And then you actually got to work at the Pinterest headquarters, which is like super cool.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Enjoli. That's such a huge feat. And to achieve that with children and like a full-time job, like that's just so incredible. I'm super
Yeah.
proud of you.
Thank you. And you can cut this out if you want, but I wanted to tell you, it was like I got home from the Pinterest event and I was like bawling my eyes out, and my husband's like, what happened? Like, what's wrong? What happened? And I was like, nothing happened. I'm just so grateful. I'm like, I've come such a long way. And then he's like, oh my God, you're going to make me cry. I'm like, I know, me too. Because it's, after you've been at your business for so long,
Yeah.
and then you have like, I think a dream client for sure, a dream client, and then you leave, you did it, and then you're just like, did it, like,
Yeah.
holy, it was just a like extremely like heavy like moment of gratitude. I was like, oh, this is
Girl,
like, this is
you're
not,
making, like body
It's
chills right now, and you're gonna make me cry.
yeah.
So
but
good. Oh.
but no, yeah, it was definitely like a pinnacle of my career.
Yeah. It's so great to like know that all of the years that you've been putting into your business for 7 to 8 years, it's just now coming down to this moment where you're like, this is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been shooting for my entire business career. And there's just so much more. Like you feel like, oh, I've reached the finish line, but this is just the beginning. So there's so much more coming for you, Enjoli, and I know that it's going to be so incredible for you. Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Reel it in, guys. Okay. So if you could share a piece of tactical advice to anyone who's watching today's interview, maybe they're in your position or maybe they're just starting out with their business, what would you tell them?
Tactical advice would have to be to trust your gut and know when it's time to level up. Like when you've spent so much time at your craft and fine tuning it and saying like, oh, I'll buy this and then I'll be set to go, or, oh, I need this in order to do this. You just kind of like trust your gut when you know it's time to really invest in yourself. And then when you do invest in TCA, start with module 1 and the 90-day letter.
Yes.
My tactical advice.
Exactly. You have to like really build those foundations. And that's our goal with the Craft Academy. Like we're not just here to get a quick win and then get in, get out, get your money and go home. Like we're here for the long haul. Like we are together for life. Like Enjoli's only been in the program for a year. The program's been out since 2021. So it'll be like we're going into our 4th year right now, which is crazy to even think about, but there's just so much more to it. And it's amazing to be alongside with you as you're going down this journey through all the wins, all the lessons learned, of all the good and the bad things. And we're here for you, right? Like whatever question you have, if we can't answer it for you, then we are going to find the answer or help you find the answer for you. So yeah, I'm so grateful to have you in the program, Enjoli. It's amazing.
I was just going to say, because, in my 8 years, obviously I've signed up for other courses and signed up for other training modules and things like that, but nothing comes close to TCA, like nothing. Because the other ones that I've joined, it's like you join and nobody even talks and nobody even, there's not weekly meetings. You have 2 weekly meetings, for support. Yeah, there's just nothing like it. The community is amazing, and it's such a community over competition vibe and atmosphere. And it's just, I've made so many close friends and I've had so many job opportunities just because of the networking that TCA has. Like it's insane.
Amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how many courses I bought and like got through 25% of it and just forgot about it. So this is definitely one of the things that I did not want to happen to our members. And so that's why we do create this, like every 2 weeks we meet. And then even if we're not on our meeting, we're on the Facebook group and we're asking questions, we're searching, we're doing all the things that we need for our business, because we need that support as entrepreneurs, especially because most of the time as calligraphers, you're in your studio, you're by yourself, you're like, it's you and a podcast and your products, right? So there's no one to really talk to. So like having this community is so huge.
Yeah, it's been so good. So good.
Amazing. Cool. So what is next for Meaningful Letters?
I think honestly, because I am booked through the end of the year, like I am fully booked. I told my husband, come January, I took the last like I think week off though or so of the year. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna redo that 90-day letter because I think after being so busy and so booked, because on-site events, they take you out of your house and you're at an event. So, and my kids are still young. They're all under 12. I have three girls, so they're all under the age of 12, and I just want to be home more. Things are crazy, so I
Yeah.
just want to be home more, and I have different areas of my business that I've always wanted to explore, like launching my first workbook, like official workbook where you could, I can wholesale to stores or have in boutiques or have, let's get them into Michael's. I have big dreams. So I think I'm gonna pump the brakes on live events
Mm.
and see what other areas I can flourish my business with, where it can be more automated and where I don't have to physically be there. Some more digital products or, something along those lines. But I know that the live events will kind of die down a little bit for sure. But I just need to redo that 90-day letter because that'll really help me just kind of focus on like what's truly important at least for the first 6 months of next year. Maybe the holidays I'll do live events next year. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
absolutely. And
Just-
you always have the opportunity to increase your rates, especially if you have
yeah.
repeat clients. I
Yeah.
personally like now understand what the moms are talking about and have been talking about for so many years. In that I do want to be home more and I want to be present as, these are his formative years. So I want to be there as well. And having these events more often is just not as sustainable. Childcare and, traveling for so long and being out of the house and not being there for all those
Yeah.
moments. It's pretty important as a mother, and a parent. So, I totally agree with you there. So what I've done is actually just increase my rates. And you can even like, if you need childcare, you can integrate those rates into your hourly rate just to make sure that it's covered and you're actually making a profit. So it just kind of
Yeah.
helps you kind of do that. And I think naturally, a lot of the clients will tend to opt for the cheaper option. And if they do say yes, then at least you booked a higher rate and it's worth your time because you're making more, but you're working less. So that's kind of like the trade-off there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So just to kind of close out this amazing interview, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about investing in themselves?
I would say don't be afraid to make the investment in yourself when you see the potential for your own future development and growth, because no one else can see or feel that but you. To be an entrepreneur is, I don't even know it's indescribable. It's to be a working mom, to be a mompreneur, only you as a person truly know your intentions and your purpose and your goal.
Mhm.
So whatever that is, it's up to you to make the decision to choose to invest in yourself that's going to future improve your growth and development. So, you can ask everyone close to you, your friends, family, their thoughts, their opinions, like, ooh, should I do this? It's a little pricey, but I know it's going to be good for my future growth. Only you know the answer to that. Only you can truly be the one that's going to armor yourself with that confidence to say like, okay, I'm going to invest in myself because of X, Y, and Z, and these are my goals, et cetera, et cetera. So just don't be afraid to invest in yourself when other people might be telling you like, now's not the right time. Only you really know what is the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last question that I ask everyone, what would you tell yourself 8 years ago, knowing what you know now?
What would I tell myself? I would say to take more deep breaths more often.
I did take a deep breath.
Yeah. Because I was raised in such a like culture of like go, 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 make yourself helpful. That's, relaxing or like taking your time is frowned upon, have an answer, be ready to just make a move. And I think sometimes we just need to take a deep breath before we make any drastic decisions. And then also during stressful times, it's insane what a deep breath can do for like your physical and mental state. So that's what I think I would tell myself, looking back from 2017 to now is just one step at a time. It's just crucial not to burn out and lose the creative energy that fuels the purpose of being a creative entrepreneur. Because if you just burn out, then, you just kind of lose everything that you started, the reason why you started. So yeah, just more deep breaths, one thing at a time.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I'm like, Let's take a deep breath together, guys.
The
Oh my
to-do
gosh.
lists just never end and they never will. So
It
it's just
will.
taking that deep breath and grab that to-do list again and keep
Yeah,
going.
love it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on here, Anjali, for telling us your story, giving us all your amazing tactical tips, and just all the things. Anjali joined the program about a year ago, and I think we were talking maybe for a year before that. And to be able to see all of that growth that she's experienced in just that short of amount of time, even though she's had the business for 8 years, it's been incredible. And knowing that she can fast track what her goal was 8 years ago and really like get to those goals in just 1 year has been really amazing to see and help. So it's just awesome to see all of this like come together, have this full circle moment of having you doing your own testimonial, which is amazing. So for anyone who's watching, if this interview resonated with you and you want this for yourself and you're feeling similarly to Anjali a year ago, please feel free to book a call with me and my team and go to wondercrafter.com/apply. You can choose and talk to a real life human being who genuinely cares about you and your business and see if the program is right for you. And even if it's not, at least we've connected and we can stay friends. So with that, thank you so much, Anjali, for coming. It has been such a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you.
And then last thing, where can people find you?
People can find me on my website at meaningful-letters.com or on Instagram at meaningfulletters_.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you so much, Anjali. And for everyone else, don't forget to like and subscribe and see you guys on the next one. Bye.